Hey, it's Dr. K. I'm a California licensed naturopathic doctor and certified sacred medicine woman. Welcome to the Divine Woman Wellness Podcast. This is a show about whole body wellness that is going to support you in finding alignment with your body, mind, and spirit. I believe every woman should have a deeper understanding of her body and soul, and my mission on this show is to guide you through learning about your body, how you can shift your day-to-day life to support health and wellness while connecting to yourself on a deeper level. These episodes are rooted in naturopathic medicine, vitalism, biohacking, and mysticism, and will guide you towards well-being in body, mind, and soul. Thank you for being here. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Divine Woman Wellness Podcast. And I am so excited to put out another episode. And I heard that you all really enjoyed last week's episode and the information about the trauma and how that relates to our physical health. And I'm on this huge, long, very drawn out personal development journey, as I'm sure we all are. But more recently, I started diving deeper into the work of Brendon Burchard, and I joined his Growth Day app. And this by no means is an advertisement for that app, but I do highly recommend it. It has some really great courses and prompts, journaling prompts for morning and evening in there that I do find quite helpful. But one of the things that I really enjoyed about it is the morning message. So every day he records and sends out another message. And there was one recently entitled The Messy Middle. And that one hit home for me. And it's more in regards to personal growth, because a lot of people stop short of their goal, whether that is in personal growth or business, because the messy middle, things get really messy in the middle and it almost seems like it's not working out. But had they just continued on just a little bit longer, things would have possibly worked out in their favor. And with health, it really struck a chord with me, because I see this in my patients so often, is they get lost in the messy middle, right? They make the resolve to get rid of the toxins out of their home, or to go gluten-free, or to go on AIP, or to just, clean up some lifestyle habits. And in the rearranging of those habits, it gets really messy. I don't know about you guys, but when I clean my house, it looks like a tornado hit. It looks so much worse, especially in the middle and possibly even close to the end. It looks so much worse than before I started. But then when I'm finally done with it and all the go-aways are out of the house and everything has been tidied up and cleaned, it's beautiful. It's amazing. But that messy middle, man, that's a rough spot. And so with health, same thing. We start getting rid of things in the kitchen that we no longer want to have in our life. Or we go through our makeup box, we go through our personal care products, and we start getting rid of things. And we hit this point, or at least I'm not speaking for everybody, I'll just speak for myself, that I know when I make these transitions that at times I get overwhelmed and it's just such a mess. And what do I take, or what do I use in place of this thing that I'm trying to get rid of in my life? And so beauty products are a great example. And I just went through doing another clean swap in my makeup cabinet. And for a while, I'm very conscious about beauty products and toxicants, because this is what I do day in and day out. And, my eldest daughter, she's 11 now, she's using some more makeup and wanting to use these products. And so we actually went through and got rid of a bunch of, I got rid of a bunch of things that were just, I don't know, they were clean-ish. A lot of it was greenwash. I got taken there too, but so it is. I was getting rid of things, but then I was purchasing new, and I didn't have all the supplies, because when you buy clean, it does get a little bit more expensive. So, it's one of those times where I'm like, screw it, I'm just not wearing makeup anymore. And in a way, I love not wearing makeup on certain days. Like, I don't feel like I need it. But on other days, I love wearing it, but I don't want to put the toxins on my body. And that, for me, with the makeup, with the personal care routine, that was a messy middle, because I didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, well, I have this lipstick that I paid for, that's beautiful, that I love. It's not the cleanest. Okay, every time I put it on, I don't feel well about putting it on, but I also don't feel well about throwing it out. That's one of those messy middles, right? In the end, it's a go away. It's probably too old anyways, because I don't use a lot of makeup, so I keep it forever, which is disturbing in and of itself. Um, but, again, back to some of my patients, what I notice when we're doing the detox and when we're trying to make all these lifestyle changes, it does get really messy. And when we're trying to do a lot of changes all at once, it gets really messy. So this is in part acknowledging the messy middle and that things are going to suck for a little while and they're going to be uncomfortable just because it's new, just like any new thing that we endeavor in. We have to learn, we have to adapt, but then also pace yourself. So when people are trying to make transitions to, say, going gluten-free or to have cleaner products, if you just purchased all new stuff, maybe use it up first, depending on how serious things are. Or maybe it's the things that we use every day, we can start replacing a little bit faster and just doing a nice stepwise process so it gets a little bit less messy, all in all. But when you're doing detoxes, it's great to. I actually just sent a detox to one of my patients, and there are a lot of changes that are going to have to occur in their life for this detox to work. And it's not just sending out this here, do this detox, but let's talk about it. Let's troubleshoot. Let's figure out what we can do so that this detox actually still works for you in your life. And it's not just this thing that you have to get done and then you get stressed about doing it and you're not doing it perfectly. And then, you either don't come back for a follow-up or we throw the baby out with the bathwater and we just never do the detox. So after listening to the messy middle, for me as a clinician, I'm actually looking at restructuring some of my treatment plans when it comes to detoxing and actually helping people step into it a little bit more gently. Now, I do have a course actually that I haven't really promoted. It's primarily focused on the kitchen because I think when we have a clean kitchen, clean as in toxin-free kitchen, I mean, it should be clean too. You know what I mean? It's the heart of the home, right? The hearth of the home, the heart of the home. That's where we used to cook. And when the food we put in our body is clean and good and that's easy to do for us, everything else gets a little bit easier. So if you're interested, I'll actually just pop it down into the notes. It's a little course. I'll put a little discount up there for you as well, just for fun because, it's holiday season's right around the corner here. But just, supporting people more in the transition. And then also sometimes, when I do detoxes with people, my general tenet is you shouldn't feel worse, or at least much worse, to feel better. I've definitely seen a lot of people go through detoxes from other clinicians, and they are absolutely miserable. And if you're doing a detox and you feel miserable, you're probably pushing your detox pathways too hard and you haven't supported detoxification enough yet. So there's a range of messy middle. If you feel like somebody's beating you up internally, please stop, slow down, and readjust. But if it's discomfort or it's just a new thing you're having to do, then that might be the right messy middle to be in. And just, okay, your body is doing a lot. You might be a little bit more fatigued, but hang in there and keep it up. Keep the pace up as much as you can. And detox is just one example. I think the messy middle fits into all areas of life, whether that is in a relationship, whether that is, and that's a romantic relationship or even relationship with your kids, maybe, In this particular recording from Brendon Burchard, he made specific mention about the teenage years and how those are like the messy middle, because that's when a lot of brain development happens and a lot of rearranging. And it made so much sense. And I do look forward to the teenage years, a little bit nervous, but we'll roll with it. But it gets to be the messy middle. Can't talk today. So what I'm trying to say is appreciate the messy middle and be okay with it. Take it one step at a time and just allow things to unfold naturally. Hang in there. If you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's a little ways away, just keep your eye on the prize. If you're really feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, or just in a place of frustration because you want to be able to get to the next level and you can't, make sure you reach out to your healthcare provider. If you want to work with me, we can do that. If you're struggling and you need somebody or want somebody in your back pocket, I do have my 3-month coaching package available where I can help you walk through your lifestyle, but also your dietary changes, what's in your home, how can we detox your home? And we can do it together on a step-by-step basis. And this wasn't actually the original reason why I started the coaching program, but this is one of those really great applications where if you're stuck in that messy middle and you need somebody with the clinical knowledge to guide you, this is that application. This is where let's reach out, let's get a buddy in our pocket, literally, because you'll have Boxer support with me, which is a voice messaging app. You'll literally have me in your back pocket and we can do this together. And if you have a provider, reach out to them. If you're ever stuck in a treatment plan and a protocol, in any recommendation that a provider has made, or even just something that you are looking to change in your own life, make sure you reach out to a provider to help you navigate that. We don't have to do this by ourselves. We don't have to be stuck in the messy middle. I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I really didn't like cleaning my room. I still don't. I like a clean room. I just don't like cleaning it. Now I can hire people to do that. I still do it myself. So when I was a kid, it just felt so overwhelming to sit in a room and everything's not in its right place. And that's hard. Now, most parents will come and help their kids clean, as in, depending on the development of the kid and where you are, how old they are, just even starting or giving some gentle direction of like, okay, go pick up the Legos first and put them in the box. That can take away the overwhelm and re-regulate that nervous system to then say like, okay, got it. I'm in a mess, literally in the middle of the mess. But if I take this action, it will get taken care of easier, right? So same with your health or anything that you're trying to achieve in your life, anything that you're trying to incorporate that is new, that's going to require some remodeling, whether that is physically remodeling, redecorating, or redoing anything in your house, or if that is the house upstairs, as in mental, emotionally. If you're going through a phase of personal development, you can read a lot of books, but sometimes we need a coach. We need another person, or, even just do the book or follow the processes in a book with a buddy for accountability, but just to hear you out where you're at. So don't go at it alone. Understand and recognize that the messy middle is a thing and it's okay because it's just the middle. And you will get out, but you have to keep going. You have to keep that forward momentum, that trajectory. And it's okay to pause and it's okay to sit in the proverbial crap for a minute. It's okay to sit in it for a minute and just calm yourself down, but then pick yourself up and keep going forward. So this is your sign. If you're struggling with anything and you feel stuck, you're probably in the messy middle. Reach out for help, whatever kind of help you need at that moment in time, whether that is call a friend and say, hey, I need some help being accountable. I know we're just going through Sober October, so maybe that's your thing. Maybe you just have developed the pattern of having that nightly glass of wine, relaxing in the evening after the kids go to bed. Maybe call a buddy and say like, okay, I'm doing this for a whole month. I'm sober. I'm trying to shift this pattern. I know it doesn't serve me. There's no good reason why I'm having a drink. It's just a pattern I've developed. Let's hold each other accountable and let's actually put in a behavior that we would like to perpetuate. So instead of having a glass of wine in the evening, maybe we have a 20-minute journaling session. And that accountability with a buddy, somebody doing it with you, can make all the difference. Or, if we don't want to journal and we still want to have a drink because that's just our thing, maybe you can have something that's nourishing to your body. Maybe you can have a nice evening tea or one of the beautiful drinks from Apothecary, anything like that, right? There are options, but reach out to somebody so you can have help and accountability and you're not going at it alone. Because you know what? It's like that stack of books. And I think I've said this example in a previous episode, or maybe, I know I say it a lot to my patients, but it's like when we're carrying a stack of books. If we're carrying 10 books by ourselves, it's really difficult. If we ask even just one other friend, hey, can you help me carry these books? It gets significantly easier when 2 people are carrying 5 books or 5 people carry 2 books, right? The more the community basis, right? The more we have support, the easier things get. So make sure you honor and respect yourself and ask for help. I think that's something that somewhere in our culture has gotten lost a little bit, that it's okay to ask for help and that it's even good to ask for help. I think we grew up, at least I feel like my genre, I don't know, peeps my age, our age probably. There was this level of independence and this autonomy, which is beautiful in some ways, but there's also this like, well, figure it out yourself attitude that I see in people about my age. And how nice would it be is if we knew we didn't have to do it ourselves. If we knew that, okay, I could do this by myself, but it's more fun with a friend, so let's call a buddy, right? I just wanted to drop this little nugget of wisdom that I've acquired, and this is my way of passing it on and sharing it with more people. I'll make sure and actually link the Growth Day app down below so you have access to it. I think you can do a free trial for a week or 2. I don't remember. I highly recommend it. I really love it. I've been using it now for a little over a week. And I've opted in for some of the courses because I just really, really enjoy his work. And it's been really helpful in my personal development and just developing as a clinician. Obviously not in the medical knowledge, but just personal development, just personal growth is always nice. So I will drop the link below for the Kitchen Clean Out Challenge and with a special discount for people listening to the podcast. Of course, you are always welcome to share this podcast with whomever you like. I send out a newsletter and that will also have the discount code in there. So make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I am getting really close to launching that 28-day gut and hormone reset course as well. And if you want to be in the first cohort in the beta group, then got to keep an eye out on that newsletter because I will be sending it out as soon as all the platform is built and ready to go. And I'm just so excited to share the information in this course. And it's not just your traditional reset. It has a lot more information in there, and it's mostly meant for empowering you to understand your body better and what different hormones means or different symptoms mean in regards to your hormones and the signals that your body's trying to communicate with you. And then, of course, the gut is so important because we're understanding now how much goes through our gut and how even the microbiome affects how our hormones are metabolized and excreted, and it can raise your toxin levels depending on where your gut is at. Okay. And toxin levels being xenoestrogens, but also recirculated estrogens that were previously bound. So there's a lot to it. And if we're not having a good gut function, we're not absorbing our nutrients well, and we're also not eliminating the toxicants very well. And that's just not good for anybody's endocrine system. So anyways, a lot more information to come. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter below. And I would absolutely love if you would rate and review and then share with me so I can see who you are, who's reviewing me, who's sending these sweet words. I really appreciate it. And I'm so grateful for all of you for listening to my episodes. It really does keep me inspired to continue to record these episodes. And if you have a special request, make sure you send it to me, DM it to me on Instagram. My handle is down below. And then I figured it out. I'm moving on up in the technology world. So I previously was published on YouTube, but it was just the, image of the podcast and it was voice only. Well, now you can actually find me on YouTube in video format. And so that's kind of strange. I'm on YouTube. Come check me out. Leave me some comments in YouTube. I'm still getting used to actually being out in the world and in front of everybody. It's definitely a new feeling. Definitely a little bit of messy middle there for me because, I'm learning as I'm doing this, and it's just so fun every week to record these episodes and know that it reaches people. And it was amazing when I posted my last podcast, the trauma and healing. I actually had 2 patients back to back the next day who mentioned my podcast and that they heard it and that it was really helpful for them. And that was just really mind-blowing. And so we all impact people.
right? And for me, that is something that I'm beyond grateful for, that I have the ability, the technology, the know-how, the tools to be able to put this information out there. That is a privilege in and of itself. And then of course, I think it is so important to make sure I share valuable information. And yeah, I do this for you guys. I mean, I love doing it. I am doing it a little bit for myself because I really enjoy this part, because I get to empower people through educating them about all these different topics, mind, body, and spirit. And so yes, it is self-serving in a way, but mostly because I know it makes a difference for people. And I know there's a lot of my former patients that I used to see through insurance that can no longer see me because of a cost thing. And now I can share that information with them at no cost whatsoever. So please, please, please support this show by rating and reviewing and sharing on social media as well. It does actually make a difference when you share it. More people have access to the show and and know that it's out there. So if you like what you heard, share it. And if you don't like what you heard, I'm sorry. That's okay too. I have learned a long time ago, I am not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm very okay with that. So if you have constructive feedback for my episodes, please DM me. Let's keep the comments and reviews positive, not because I only want to hear positive things, but I would like things to be constructive. And if you DM me, I'm probably going to be able to make those changes a little bit more quickly than waiting until I randomly read through my reviews. So thank you so much. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, ciao.